I've had so many people, so many pro-Palestine protesters protesting all over the whole world, almost all over the whole countries where they could. Everyone appears, especially the Muslims, appears to be saying Israel should cease fire. But you see, my dear people, I think I have this to say concerning the world or the UN authorities asking Israel to cease fire. Israel ceasing fire at this moment. In fact, asking Israel to cease fire at this moment is like saying to Israel, we want you to be completely eradicated on the earth's surface. We do not want to have anyone called a Jew or an Israeli on the earth region anymore. I've been following this war from the very beginning, since October 7th, when the massacre took place in Israel by Hamas. I have also watched what happened, the jubilation in Gaza after the massacre, and the white cry from the same Gazans or the Palestinians when the Israelites started retaliating. You see, whether you are a Christian or you're a Muslim or you are an atheist or you are a Judaism, whatever thing you worship or whatever, in the name of whatever thing you believe in, if you are one of those persons asking Israel to cease fire or protesting that Israel should cease fire at this moment, I want to categorically say you are an evil person. You are an evil person because you knew deep down your heart that if you are to be an Israeli, you wouldn't be asking for Israel to cease fire. Knowing fully well that no one wants to live in a country or with a neighbor that is as dangerous as Hamas. No one wants to sleep every night with one eye closed and one eye open. No one wants to wake up every morning with the fear that you might kill. No one wants to wake up every morning with the fear of what might happen to you, because you are not too sure. Enemies are all surrounding you. Therefore, those asking for ceasefire are asking for the wrong thing. I'm not an Israeli. I am a preacher and a Nigerian. But I am not saying this because I'm a preacher. I'm saying this because this is the common facts. This is the common truth that many persons asking for a ceasefire have failed to take note of. You are asking for a ceasefire because you are in a country where there is peace. You are asking for a ceasefire because you are not the one Hamas is after. You are asking for a ceasefire because your daughter or your son or your nephew or your cousin or your friend is not part of the people who were massacred on October 7th or part of the persons who were kidnapped. You are asking for a ceasefire because Israel is not your own country, because you are not a Jew. Shame on you. Shame on you. If you are a Christian, shame on you. If you are an Islam, shame on you. I have no problem with Muslims. I have good number of Muslims who are my friends here in Nigeria and even abroad. Wonderful people with kind hearts. The problem here is not with Muslims. The problem here is with persons. So Israel is not fighting with Gaza. Israel is not fighting with Palestinians. This is a war against terrorism. This is a war against Hamas. Israel is only fighting Hamas to enable them have a safe home. And I think there is nothing wrong with Israel trying to defend himself. In fact, asking for a ceasefire will jeopardize Israel the more and put the entire Israel in a very serious mess, thereby empowering Hamas and making them more sophisticated. In fact, the next action they would carry against Israel would be wiping them out completely. The enemies of the Israelis are not sleeping, they are awake. But I thank God for Israel because I know in this battle, by the grace of God, Israel will win this battle against Hamas. Asking for a ceasefire will put Hamas on advantage over Israel. That's number one. Number next, asking for a ceasefire is placing the entire Jews in Israel or the entire persons in Israel at risk. Most of the persons in Gaza who are crying out today, oh, Israel is committing genocide and all that, we are the same persons who jeered and clapped for Hamas during October 7 massacre. Asking for a ceasefire will enable Hamas to regroup, re-equip itself, re-enhance, and reinforced. So I don't think asking the Israelite for a ceasefire now is anything that should be considered. Most of the death that has occurred, the death of civilians, occurred because Hamas tends to be using the Palestinians or the Gazians as a human shield. I have heard so many people say when there was war between Ukraine and Russia, the entire Western world, most of the countries, open borders for the refugees from Ukraine to, come into their country. That is true. But the truth is this: what is stopping Muslim countries that has border with Israel and Gaza? What is stopping them from also doing sin? What is stopping Syria from giving humanitarian aid to Gaza? What is stopping it from opening its border for Gaza? What is stopping Iran for doing so? What is stopping Egypt for doing so? What is stopping Lebanon for doing so? No, rather than do that, they would rather encourage the citizens to stay back and keep facing bombardment. This is a war. This is not a picnic. The Israelites are trying to fight the worst fight of their life. They have lost so many soldiers already, and they will still lose more. But my prayer is that in this fight, that they will actually win. God bless Israel. And may the Lord save innocent Palestinians, because I know there are so many persons in Gaza who knew nothing, especially innocent children, about this, who has never supported Hamas. Unfortunately, this is war. Good things happens to bad people, and bad things happens to good people. In Nigeria during Biafra War, as we were told by history, many persons from the eastern region lost their lives. They were good people. They were not soldiers. They were innocent civilians, but they lost their life. They lost their life because that was war. During Russia versus Ukraine war, many Ukrainians lost their life. Innocent people, not soldiers. They lost their lives. This is war, not child's play. God bless you all for listening to me. Thank you.